All right, that was Love No More by Loud Luxury, and now the fellas are back in studio. Guys, what's up?
Yo, thanks for having us.
It's been a while.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been too long.
We were trying to figure this out. I really feel like it was Miami in that weird garage.
Yeah, that was quite the night, though.
Yeah.
We had a good time.
And then by the pool. We were with them by the pool at the iHeart.
At the
party.
iHeart, yes. That's where I first met
Yeah.
him because I wasn't here for when you guys interviewed him the first time.
Yep.
Yes.
I personally think our interview was the reason why they're
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to ask, how has your lives changed since you got named #1 track of 2018 by Beats and Boots? That's really how we're going to I'm sure.
Let me tell you, things
Did you guys get the
have been
plaque?
on the up and up. Yeah.
You guys got the plaque from us?
We posted
Where's
that
the plaque?
story.
No, we didn't get it.
Oh, man.
Listen,
It got
I'm
lost in
taking
the mail, I guess.
What plaque?
Yeah, we posted that story and instantly got DM'd by like Emily Ratajkowski, Haley Baldwin. I'm like, what's going on here? It's crazy.
They're playing Fire Festival
I was gonna
2020.
say,
Yeah.
they got hit up by Billy.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Billy.
I got a $2 million deal coming at you.
The greatest fucking things ever.
All right, so I mean, in seriousness though, I mean, the song has blown up, obviously. What's sort of been like the biggest adjustment for you guys since this has happened?
Well, we went from playing 30 shows probably a year ago to literally September, October, November, playing like, I don't know, it was like 70 or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, so we did our
Damn.
fall tour.
Yeah.
September played 30 shows. October basically played 30 shows. That's almost a show a day on average.
Yeah.
That's
Somehow
wild.
survived that.
Yeah.
And went to Australia at the beginning of this year, and that was incredible.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah. And we just started our residency at Hakkasan Group in Vegas.
Oh, yeah,
Congrats.
congrats
How's that?
on
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's big.
Every
Yeah.
show's been incredible. You know, they're top notch. You know,
Right.
they
Yeah.
really take care of their
Make sure you
artists.
guys are playing during the iHeart Festival.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
We'll be in touch.
We'll be over there.
It'll be
I
dangerous.
see what you did there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, long story short, guys, it's just been like a roller coaster of a journey. And, you know, we're having the time of our lives getting to do all this. It's a blast.
All right, so, I mean, obviously, Hakkasan is another level of levels.
Right.
But, I mean, you guys have, like, a huge college, like, demographic following. Do you miss playing parties like that? Like, some, like, college-age stuff?
Yeah, I mean, those are always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They're definitely really ratchet. And
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, those parties get real
There's been a couple
weird.
of times I've been afraid that I might fall through the stage.
Right.
Whereas when you're playing at Omnia,
Right.
they're like, oh, come for this beautiful dinner. We're going to have somebody pick you up at the airport. And then you're going to play this crazy club where it's like you're just mind blown looking at everything.
It's wild in there.
But there's a yes and a no there.
Yeah, we do miss it. We were just actually reflecting because this time last year, this is when I'd say Body had its first initial kind of takeoff. And it was with all the college kids.
Right.
Yeah, we
So we're
literally
like-
did the raunchiest run.
Yeah, so we're like, we got to string something together, right? So we convinced our buddy to drive all around the northeastern U.S. in the middle of winter. I'm talking like 30, 40-degree weather the entire time, staying in the dodgiest motels and just going around and playing all these colleges.
And he wasn't the best driver either. He was I swear to you, he'd be driving, have one hand on the wheel, and then have his other hand like watching a movie. I'm like,
Oh,
bro!
my God.
I'm like, stop it!
We all have that friend. Shout out to Zach
Yeah.
Mutari.
Yeah, our buddy's actually like that.
The worst part about all of that was that there was a point where like we'd have like 4 or 5 days between gigs, but we couldn't afford to drive all the way home, so we'd stay at this hotel and just like eat
Like
pizza
Motel
pockets.
Sixes.
Yeah,
Oh
really
my
just eat
God.
hot pockets,
Right.
cup of soup in the middle of winter, and just sit around and watch movies and be like, it felt like you're stranded. And it paid off, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like all these colleges, you know, they had there was a face
sure.
to this song all of a sudden,
Yeah.
and they started coming to all of our other shows. Like it was
Spring break was wild.
and
Where was
it
that?
paid
Where'd you
off
guys
big
go?
time.
We went to Puerto Vallarta. That is actually a place where the stage collapsed.
Really?
Yes, because we were like
Too many girls on stage?
No,
Jumping
yeah,
around?
that was the case.
Yeah.
It was really funny
probably,
because we were on the beach and they're like, "Hey guys, so we'll give you a few extra nights if you do this beach party," which it wasn't really a beach party. It was just sort of like a mini stage set up on the beach beside the food area. And,
Next to the snack bar, we got you
started
guys.
playing. We're like, okay, we're gonna play Body,
Yeah.
and then we like triggered something where literally all of them were like, play it again. So we
Oh my
literally
God.
played it 10 times, and the people in the food area were all like a little bit older, like or not part of the student crew. They were like, boo. And then we would be like, okay, so should we play something else? We'd play something else, and then they'd be like, take this crap off, play Body again. So then the final time I played it, I'm like, we're gonna go so hard that we break the stage, and then sure enough, the second drop, boom, 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 crack,
Oh,
and everybody just
God.
like goes in the
Did
middle.
anybody
I'm
get hurt?
No, it wasn't very big. It wasn't very
No
big.
casualties.
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't
Nobody
like
got this on
super
video?
elevated.
There's maybe a scrape in there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
But we saw some
Little
crazy
Band-Aid.
video. I think it was in Alabama of Body playing and the stage like collapsing
Yes.
and everyone falling in.
Oh my
They're
God.
fine. They're
That's
fine.
fine.
Jesus. Everybody was fine
I
here.
say this
Everybody's
as
good.
I'm laughing, but yeah, they're okay. But it was hilarious.
Wow. People love it. I mean,
dude, people go hard.
that was
Hard.
this summer's song for
sure.
Down the Shore. We go down the
Can I
Jersey
bring up
Shore.
the story?
Yeah, please bring it.
Can I
was
bring it
hoping
up?
you'd have
Oh
it.
my God, this is the greatest
So
thing
poor
ever.
Brando
Yes.
got
I
set up
completely
here.
forgot about it. I'm so glad you
DJs,
guys
right?
Yes, bro.
Did he tell you what happened?
Oh
I don't know, but
my
we
God.
saw him
Tell
the
me
day before.
story.
He's like,
Tell
"Yo,
me
I
the
gotta
story.
do this thing in New Jersey."
Yeah.
And we're like, "All right, see him." Like, saw him off to the airport,
Yeah.
and that's
No,
all I
it's-
know.
it gets
Oh
better.
my
Yeah,
God.
tell
All
him.
right.
Go ahead.
So Brando's in there. It's a packed Sunday night. Like, you know, they bring in like cool artists, like, you know, bigger names, whatever. So he's on stage. He's getting this like 10-minute drunk intro from our buddy Sal. Like the lengthiest intro ever, really building it up. You know, he's like, Brando, everybody comes, you know, starts cheering. He's like, all right, featuring, Loud Luxury Body featuring Brando. And like he throws it to the DJ and they start playing Jackie Chan.
Oh, no.
You didn't tell
So
us that.
everybody's like sitting there and like, you know, obviously we know the song. We're like, this isn't Body. Like, wait, is he on Jackie Chan too? And like a true professional, he just starts singing Jackie Chan. And then after Jackie Chan's over, they get back on the mic. They're like, all right, Body. And then it finally plays again.
No.
And he sung, oh my God, bro, I was dying.
All I have to
Yeah.
say
Dying.
is hunka bunka.
Hunka Bunka. That's
Yes.
it. That's it.
How do you know this? That's what I want to know. How do you know about Hunka Bunka?
You better believe
Yeah.
my eyes were peeled on his story when he was there.
Yeah.
My favorite part of I think either his or it might have been DJ's story where he was on stage and there was a swarm of girls around him.
Oh,
And he just
yeah.
looked terrified.
Yeah, he didn't know what
Yeah.
to do. He
He
literally
was
told his
very,
actors,
yeah,
he's like,
he was out of the
"Bro."
element
Yeah.
for a
He's like, that
second.
was so crazy. He's like, there's so many girls.
Dude, that place is an anomaly.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
you
wild.
guys have to come. I mean, you might be too big at this point, but you have to
Yeah.
at least come out one day. It's crazy.
I'm
over there.
so down.
Yeah, we'd love to see it, man. I
Yeah.
mean,
You gotta, you really do.
You watch the show all the time growing up, but I mean,
Yeah.
getting to experience it in
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
person, I feel like that's another.
It's wild, man.
It's crazy.
I want to talk about Toronto a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're due for a trip. First of all,
We are
Yes,
due for a
you are.
trip.
Our favorite
so we're
city
coming
in the
up.
world.
We're coming up.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, what is it? That's like I feel like it's like the happening place right now. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily like an EDM, but like hip hop. And now you guys are actually coming out of there. It's crazy.
Here's what I need to explain about Toronto.
Yeah.
For years,
Mhm.
whether it be sports, music, everything, we've always had the biggest chip on our shoulders because
Yeah.
no one took us seriously,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I'm talking back in the Vince Carter days,
Mhm.
back when the Leafs weren't good.
Yeah.
You know, no one ever took us seriously. So the second that suddenly the sports teams got better, the music got good, everyone has a lot of pride
Yeah.
in terms of feeling like we come from a place that's special, you know, a
Right.
city that's special and unique. So we wear it like a badge of honor. And I think that was one reason why it resonated so much with Body and
Yeah.
like the whole Six reference was
Yeah.
that people are really, really proud of their city.
We weren't sure how it was going to be received, honestly. We were like,
Right.
oh, like maybe people will be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like hating
because
on it.
people in Toronto actually hate it being called the Six.
Yeah.
but
Really?
It's like
yeah.
it's like sort of corny. Like it's something that a tourist would
Yeah.
say,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like, oh, you're going to the Six? Wow.
yeah,
Cool, bro.
Yeah.
Sick.
but it worked.
Do you think it's because of Drake? It's just
Yeah,
Drake.
I
How
was
much?
gonna say,
How much
'cause-
does Drake have to do with Toronto? It's like a
He's
resurgence
been
here.
really
And the
great, man.
Six.
He's the ambassador for the Raps. Like,
Yeah.
He's done a lot of stuff for the city, and we really respect that.
Yeah, Drake actually created the nickname the Six,
Yeah.
which is because both main area codes in Toronto have a 6 in it.
Right.
And it just
Interesting.
caught on. So I mean, we attribute all of that to Drake.
Mind blown. That's amazing. All right, we're gonna get into Body, and then we're gonna have our famous question where we're gonna put you guys on the spot. A
Oh,
little bit.
great.
Well,
Yeah.
first, before we get into that,
No.
big congrats. You guys are on Now That's What I Call Music 69.
Yeah, I saw that.
Congratulations.
No,
I got
I
so
did not
many
know you guys were on
messages
that.
from and I was like, what a fitting
Congratulations.
compilation.
And the funniest is that the album covers are like now 69.
And the 4 Junos, too, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, that was "Body" by Loud Luxury, the song of 2018. I'd safely say.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and
Agreed.
now it is time for our.
It was number 1.
It wasn't on our countdown.
on our countdown. It was number 1.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I know you guys
Too
were really waiting for that one. So now it's time for our question.
Yes.
And who left it?
It was Sultan and Shepard.
Right.
What's the most awkward experience in the studio with an artist?
Yeah.
Oh, there's been a
I got
couple.
a great one for you.
Okay.
So We were working with a guy named Ray Dalton. Are you familiar with him?
No.
He was on the
Sounds
Macklemore
familiar.
Truck. Where do we go now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were in the studio with him, and that guy loves to drink tequila. So we were just like having some shots, whatever.
Yeah.
And the studio runner, because usually there's a person in the studio that will like, if you're like, oh, can I get some lunch or like get me a 40 of tequila or whatever, they'll go get it for you. But he was kind of aloof that day, so I was like, okay, like, what do you need, man? Do you need a water or something? He's like, yeah, like, can you bring me one? I'm like, for sure, I got you, bro. And then I go and I like, it was a big studio too, so it's the studio console room, which Andrew and I were in, and then there's like a little partition room that kind of leads into the studio floor.
Okay.
So it was really dark, and it was like really vibey studio. And I got the water, I'm bringing it, and my head's down. I'm looking down, and as I'm walking, I go, boom! And I smack into a door because there's glass doors. There were glass doors, but I couldn't see because it was so dimly lit, and I thought they were open. I was like, oh, it's got to be open. And there was like I was looking down because of the partitions on the ground, so I didn't want to trip, right? Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, wow, did I just chip a tooth? And I like looked in the glass, and I'm like, no, I'm good. Okay, whatever. Open the door. I go to Ray, and he literally looks at me like a ghost. Like, he looks like I'd come from like somewhere else, and he's like, bro, you are bleeding everywhere. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean I'm bleeding everywhere? And I look down, I look at the water, like to look at myself, and as I do that, literally blood just pees out of my head. And I'm just like, oh. And then I kind of sit down and I'm like, Andrew, can you help me? And I start getting dizzy. And then Andrew goes, like the great guy he is, he goes to the first thing he finds in the freezer. He finds I kid you not, a frozen can. It was almost exploding of Sprite. And I go, and he's like, here, use this. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with this?
There's no ice.
There's no ice. And I sat there for 20 minutes just putting this thing on my head as I had a goose egg just expanding on my head. I'm like, I don't feel so good.
Dude, you're lucky to get a concussion.
Seriously.
I did get a concussion.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you get checked out?
I still have a scar. I've got a Harry Potter scar on my head right now.
I also remember there being another studio session that got mad weird, where what happened was it started with just like one person being like, yo, like pull up to the studio, we'll work on some music.
Right.
Very, very innocuous. We're like, okay, sick.
I know which one.
And then it was like, yo, do you mind my buddy comes through? He'll like help write this. And it was like, okay, cool. And then someone else walked in and was like, yo, what's up, guys? And then started writing the track. And then it literally snowballed into like 30 people in this session.
So
literally
weird.
everyone trying to write this track. And I literally felt my head exploding.
What song were we like ripping off, basically?
Oh, yeah.
It was Zane. Yeah.
So halfway.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah, so halfway through the session, we all realized that this track that 30 of us are writing is like a direct ripoff of I Don't Want to Live Forever by Zayn and Taylor Swift from the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack. And we're trying to explain to them, guys, this is literally a ripoff of this track. Why are we writing this?
Yeah, the one was just like, no.
Yeah, they wouldn't listen. And then this kept going on. And then one more person walks in, and they're like, yo, so what are you guys working on? And everyone's just yelling over each other, trying to talk. It was a disaster. And they play it for this guy, and he's like, yo, that sounds like that Zayn and Taylor Swift song. And they're like, what? And then they put it on, and then everyone's like, oh.
I hear it.
No one believed
Yeah, I literally just walked out of there like, I'm done. I can't do this.
You didn't cut your losses at that point.
Yeah.
All right, so we have to do a real Beats and Boots fashion question.
Yeah.
Lauv asked this one.
We softballed that last one to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Lauv wants to know, have you ever shit your pants? Even just a little bit.
As a kid, for sure.
Oh, but as an adult.
Sometimes I did it purposefully, just because I was a shit disturber, as you will.
What? That's not a real thing.
What is a shit disturber? Please explain.
I can't say that's ever happened.
I've done it a couple times as a toddler, just because I was like rebelling, you know? I was getting in my rebellious phase, and I was mad at my parents. And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do, to get them back? Shit my pants.
Wow.
Oh
this
my
explains
God.
so much.
I was going to say, is this
showing
opening any doors right now?
Asserting territory.
What better way to get back at your parents, though?
I guess so, yeah. They got to clean it up. You know?
You were a sick
guess,
kid.
I do.
Damn, bro. That's wrong.
I do very clearly remember when I was younger, though, having a couple times where like I was walking home, you know, and just not having the bladder to make it on the way home, and just be like, oh, I'm not gonna make it.
That's just embarrassing. That's IBS right there.
I don't know many third graders that have IBS, but I might have been the first.
You're a trendsetter. It's nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just hits you. John must shit his pants.
As an adult, as an adult.
As a grown adult.
I got really drunk, and then I just woke up and I had shit my pants in the middle of the night somehow in my sleep. I don't know.
But have you ever sharded?
Sharded? Oh yeah, that's probably
Like
more,
accidentally?
You farted.
Yeah. A little something
That's
comes
more
out.
understanding. Like if
Right.
someone's like, "Yeah, I'm 21 years old and I sharted," I'm like, "It happens, man. It's okay."
It's
you know?
okay.
It
You just got a little too ambitious.
You felt a little too confident.
You thought you could make it to home plate.
Then you just gotta throw the underwear away somewhere.
No,
and you're
yeah.
good to go at that
Just
point.
Hope to God
Good
nobody
deal.
ever sees
Yeah,
it.
those toss it.
Yeah.
Burn it.
Free ball it. You're good.
That's
You're
it.
good
That
to
was a
go.
good one. All right, good one on you, Ari.
All right, so now leave a question for our next guest, who is the Chainsmokers.
Okay, I
I thought of this
the
one on the way
Chainsmokers.
here.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Would you rather be Andy King or 21 Savage?
No, it's Ja Rule.
Wow.
No.
It's Ja Rule.
No, not Ja
Did we
Rule.
say Ja
Andy
Rule?
King is the Evian guy.
No, I know. Did we want to do Ja Rule and Andy King or
Jesus.
Andy
Listen,
King
I
versus
feel like
21
Andy
Savage?
King is raking it in right now.
He got a TV show.
Yeah.
Which is
So
amazing.
like
Did he
Andy
get a
King
TV show?
doesn't
Yeah.
sound too
Yeah,
bad.
no,
didn't know
because
that.
we were watching the Fire documentary, so we were watching at the end. We're like, damn, this sucks for everyone.
Right.
So we're like, who had it worse? Ja Rule, where literally everyone thinks you're a massive joke, no one takes you seriously.
That's been his
Never
life.
has
though.
been. Yeah. Like it just reinforced you already being a
Right.
massive joke, or would you want to be Andy King and admit that you're about to suck some
dick,
for
yeah.
Evian water?
I mean, if I had the answer, I'd be Andy King. At least he was upfront about it. You know,
Yeah.
Ja
You
Rule's
gotta
like
respect him.
he was all about it,
Okay,
and then
so
like he tried to
if
pussy
it's
his
for
way
the
out.
Chainsmokers, should we do something a little bit more risky?
Yeah,
Yes.
push the boundaries.
All right, Adrian.
Okay,
That's
so we brainstormed,
All right.
and the delegates have decided. The
Yes.
question is, would you rather be at the end of the train, or make out with the girl after the end of the train?
This is gonna get us in so
Yeah.
much
It
trouble.
was a fun ride while it lasted, guys.
This is it, guys. It was fun.
Andy
That'll
King
be our
versus
last
Ja
show.
Rule.
Oh
Jesus.
my
All
god.
right, guys. Shout out your socials. Where can people see you? Give me on tour, all that kind of good stuff. What are
So
guys
you
doing
can
20
find us across the board
Yep.
at Loud Luxury, LOUDLUXURY.
It gets misspelt way more than you'd think.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
Losing
there's always
faith
an
in the
E in
education
there.
system.
There's an A, sometimes or an O. Kinda weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are we,
What's
when are we
wrong
gonna
with
get some new
people?
music too?
Good
music?
question.
We've been working on so much new music in the last couple of months.
Some
It's
new
stressful
collabs
how
in?
much we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of making our head hurt. We have so much stuff done and ready to go, and we're just trying to figure out, what's the next move. Taking our time with it. We've been a little bit lucky in the sense that Body just like
Right.
we've been talking to some radio people about it today, and they're like, yeah, the track has like no signs of slowing down.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's bought us
Nuts.
a little bit of time, in terms of just figuring out what the next thing is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we're perfecting everything, and tons will be ready to go very soon. I can assure you that.
Awesome.
Fellas, good seeing you. Always
As
a
always.
pleasure.
As
Always
always.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see you in Miami, or we'll just pull up in Vegas one of these
Yeah.
days as well. So,
Yeah, we'll
either
see you in
way.
AC,
And
maybe. I don't
Toronto.
know. We'll find
Yes,
out.
you better
We'll
come
figure
to
it out.
AC.
I have a feeling the AC thing's gonna happen.
Thank you seriously for making Body the #1 track.
Of course.
Really appreciate it.
You are so welcome.
Awesome. Thank you,
All right,
guys.
guys.
Thank you guys.